Fantastic. Picture perfect.
The blast is a detonator's dream. Right next to the devastation, the Clark Bridge survived without a scratch, and so have the surrounding buildings. High-speed camera footage shows why. The building fell towards the northwest corner as planned. The steel cables that anchored the exterior columns to the central core pulled them in exactly the right direction, saving the bridge from massive falling columns, just as the model did in Paul and Braden's lab experiment. The only way to make sure the blast is truly a success is to go inside the wreckage.
It's now time to put on the dust masks, because behind me, here she comes. Woo! I guess we're all gonna have a shower after this.
Paul tracks down contractor Jeff Sizemore.
Great job, Jeff. Looks like you've changed the skyline again.
There's not a thing broken, which is what makes me happy.
That's great. Looks good. Muck pile, debris pile, decent height. Looks like you'll be able to reach it with all the equipment.
Yes, we will.
Looks like a great job. Let's get up there and take some first impressions. I think they've just about given you all a clear now. If not, by the time we get there, it will be. Wow. Well, this looks pretty good. I'm here at the edge of the crater. Okay, you can see it actually dips down, and around this edge here are concentric cracks in the concrete.
The building imploded. It sank down into its own basement. This formed a crater containing most of the 40 million pounds of concrete.
But over here, you can see where some of the big columns have actually come down and smashed outwards.
All around, Paul sees violent evidence of what happens when post-tension cables are suddenly ripped free.
But if you look down here, you can see the post-tension cables. And they're pretty visible because the actual cables themselves have got plastic tube around them. And that's designed so that when they tighten them up, they'll actually slip a little bit in the concrete. It kind of lubricates them.
As he sifts through the rubble, Paul finds something completely unexpected in what was supposed to be a purely concrete building. Steel I-beams.
Where did these steel beams come from? I didn't get to see the plans, but I didn't see any on the structure itself. Thought it was all concrete, but apparently not.
It's a crisis blasters face on nearly every demolition. Inaccurate blueprints. Jeff and his blast team dodged a bullet. A few horizontal beams that they didn't know about weren't enough to cause a disaster. If they'd been vertical columns, the building could have fallen the wrong way.
You know, when you drop a structure like this, you see a lot of things that you didn't see before.
Finally, Paul heads over to the Clark Bridge to make sure it truly escaped any harm.
We're standing on the bridge, and from this angle, the widest part of the crater over there is on this side, and that means that the building was really pulled well away from the bridge. What we can see from here is all of those tall outside columns are leaning the correct way, and that's towards the northeast. I'm pretty stoked. This was a great demolition.
It's official. Here in the home of Muhammad Ali and the Louisville Slugger, these blasters have knocked this building out of the park in their own rumble in the urban jungle. Downtown Louisville can now get back to business as usual, minus one abandoned building. For explosives experts Paul Warzy and Braden Lusk, it's off to the next bridge, building, or smokestack. Because for these detonators, it's all about the science behind the explosion.